Good evening. I hereby call this regular meeting of the Nacogdoches Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum is present and notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act. Board member Dr. T.C. Groman was unable to attend this evening. He's representing the district at a regional meeting. Please remember that the items don't have to be taken in the order shown on the agenda, and we would appreciate if you would turn your cell phones to a silent mode. Thank you for joining us tonight. The board will now conduct an executive closed session to discuss the items posted on our agenda pursuant to the following provisions of the Texas Open Meeting Act and as allowed by Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.129. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussion in closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in open session. It is now 5:01. Thank you.
She's ready.
Okay. This is,
I got 1 minute.
there we are. This time, the board will now reconvene into open session, and we've asked board member Ms. Mindy Winslow to give us our convocation tonight. Invocation, I'm sorry.
You'll pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this evening. Father, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to serve this community. I thank you, Lord, for our students and their parents and for them trusting us to teach them. Father, I thank you for our teachers and our district leaders. Father, I just ask your wisdom and your guidance over this meeting tonight, and all these things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Now we move to our flags. We'll call Mr. Z to come with the Nettie Marshall Early Childhood Center, and he'll do our Pledge of Allegiance. And then Mr. Brian Tarvin, Nettie Marshall School of Success, will come for the Texas flag.
All right. Well, good evening, President Urban, board members, and Superintendent Trujillo. I bring to you the smallest members of our wonderful district.
All right.
And so I'm going to go ahead and point it over to Ms. Edge's class, if y'all like to step forward. Big personalities for little people.
We're sorry, we have parents that want to film, so we're going to...
Please feel free. Come on, moms.
We understand.
They can feel free to come forward if they like.
Please stand. And
So we ask you to face this way.
pledge.
I'll be the face that way.
I
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow.
And now the Texas pledge.
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tarvin, where are you? Mr. Bryant? Well, just go ahead and introduce your student to us. Thank you tonight for stepping up for us.
So, thank you. I'm honored here today to stand before you as the Principal Margie Chumley with our representatives today. We have 2 teachers and a student. I just want to let you know that the students at Margie Chumley are working hard to graduate. Today they went on a college trip to Angelina College, and now they're working hard to finish in a timely manner so they can graduate in May. So without further ado, Mr. Higgins is spearheading this thing for us today. So please come up, introduce yourselves.
All right. Hello, I'm Matthew Higgins. I'm the social studies teacher at Margie Chumley. I just wanted to tell everybody how proud I am of our students. Our trip to Angelina College today went great. Lucia was our volunteer today to come and represent our school. And she's one of our best and brightest. Do you want to say anything?
So you're a senior this year, Lucia?
Oh, yeah, she'll graduate soon.
Wow.
She's on her way.
By the end of March.
So what are your plans for after graduation?
I'm hopefully able to go to TJC and
Wow.
study radiology or pathology.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Good. Awesome.
You can do it. You can
My
do
name
it.
is Teresa Coates, formerly Teresa Mendez. We have a great group of kids at Margie, and we're getting them done, getting them graduated, and sending them on, trying to get them a plan, and becoming productive members of our society, and get an education when they get out. So, glad to be here.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Now we'll move to the celebration and information items. Dr. Trini.
Yes, sir. Tonight, we've got a couple of items that we want to showcase, and the first one I'm going to ask to step up to the microphone is our very own Nacogdoches High School Band Director. Director Jacob Weems is here tonight, along with 2 of his students who have performed last weekend at the All-State Band in San Antonio. Mr. Weems, have him introduce the 2 students with him.
Thank you all so much for having us here. This is Aiden Fitterud and Audrey Bray. It is my absolute pleasure to be here to recognize these two. They have received the top award that any Texas student musician can receive as being named TMEA All-State band members. They started this journey long time ago, back in August. They got their All-State tryout music, competed against everybody in our region, all the 5A and 6A schools in our region, then went on to the area level. And just so you can kind of see the scope of what they've gone through, 70,000 students tried out for the All-State band, choir and orchestra. The top 3% made it. These two both made top bands of their categories. This is Aiden's third year in a row to make the All-State band. This is Audrey's first year. So we are super excited for these kids. It was such a great feeling to see Nacogdoches ISD on that program twice, to see those names and how well these students did. Aiden was in the top, like I said, in the top 6A band. He chose to even punch above his weight class. You have the option to go 5A or go 6A, and he said, I'm going to go all the way, and went against all the big boys too, and came out on top. And then Audrey went 5A, and she wound up being the third chair in the entire state of Texas in the 5A band.
That's awesome.
So we are
Mr. Weems, just real quick, could you share, I know when they put the bands together, and I know this because being a band dad and going down there to TMEA and traveling and sitting in the audience and being very proud of the kids, when they show up there and they make these top bands,
Yes.
how much time, because they're playing with people that they've not played with, how much time do they have to learn a piece of music and be able to perform and get ready to do that?
I think they're still a little bit in shock about. We got there Wednesday afternoon. I didn't hardly see them again until their performance. They rehearsed 8 hours a day. 8 hours the first day, 5 and 3. I think Audrey's was even a little bit more rigorous because her concert was early in the day on Saturday. But they got 2-hour breaks for lunch, and that was it. They went back to rehearsing. The band had never met together, didn't know each other before that, sat down on stage and played some of the hardest, most incredible music you've ever heard in your entire life. 30,000 music educators were in attendance at the TMEA convention, and I can tell you at least 5,000 to 6,000 were at their concerts. It was a completely packed house. The Lila Cockrell auditorium there in the convention center was completely packed. Two balconies full in the entire place. It was an electric atmosphere, to say the least, and these kids really showed out. It was great.
Awesome. Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. It's very exciting to see that. It's almost to the point that you get the best basketball players in the state of Texas, and you put all the top basketball players in the gym, and you have them compete. And that's what this is. You get the top band athletes across, band performers across the state, and put them on one stage and have them perform. It's pretty exciting. So we're going to go to the next item. And I'm going to invite at this time, we've got February is Career and Technical Education Month, and we've got Ms. Coy Van Valkenburg, our Director of CTE, and is here tonight with a presentation and some of her students from Nacogdoches High School. So I'm going to have her introduce her team.
Good evening, President Irvin, board members, Superintendent Trujillo. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to kind of share a little bit about what CTE, what's happening in CTE this year, and introduce you to a few of our students representing their programs as well. So February is Career and Technical Education Month, and we want to take a moment just to say thank you to not only our students and our teachers, but also our industry partners that allow us to continue moving forward with our CTE programs, because that's very important that we continue to progress and allow these opportunities for our students. So just to recap, Nacogdoches CTE, we serve over 1,900 students through 15 programs of study, and then we offer over 15 industry-based certifications that are approved by TEA. And so many of our these students that are standing here tonight, I'll introduce you to them and let them share a little bit about their experience as well. But they are taking those certification programs and working towards those this year, so our senior students. But our goal in CTE is that we continue to prepare our students for those rigorous activities, give them the experience and exposure to prepare them for those successes, whether they go to college or trade school or straight into the workforce, which is really where we want them to be prepared for, and just have those skills and that exposure to be able to make those better decisions going in. So we're really proud of our students and the opportunities that they've had. Some of the highlights from this year that I want to just kind of talk to you guys about is that we were able to implement our CTE Student Ambassador Program. 2 of our students are actually part of that program as well and gone through that. We're pretty proud, and you guys have seen those students at the face of most of our presentations and opportunities, meetings that we've had. The other thing is we're able to have our 8th grade students come out and do the tours of our CTE facilities. We just recently did that at the end of January. And we were in our facilities fully, so the kids got to fully experience all of our newly renovated buildings and shops and labs, and so we're really excited to have that to share with them as well. But the biggest thing and takeaway from that day is that those 8th grade students got to interact with our high school students that are currently in those programs. And that's the biggest impact for those students, that as they make those decisions going in and choosing what's going to be best for them as they make their course selections. So that was a great opportunity, hopefully for our students as well. They enjoyed that too. Expansion of our participation in our career and technical student organizations. You guys have probably seen a lot of highlights of our students winning awards and advancing to state competitions. We actually have several organizations that are going to competition that left today and are leaving this weekend. So over that next week, it's a very busy time. But we want to encourage our students to step out. It really builds their confidence, steps outside their comfort zone, and we see that different light in them, that they get to take what they're learning in the classroom outside into another level and kind of have that experience too. We've also implemented our graphic design lab, school store, getting that off the ground, so our student enterprises are growing, that we're able to give those students that real life experience. Summer internships were offered throughout the district with some of our departments this summer, and so we had a lot of great feedback, and we hope to offer that opportunity and expand that out more for our students as well. And then just currently we're preparing for our Youth Career Summit in April, which is we partner with Workforce Solutions for our youth career fair, so to speak, but we have a lot of things that are building up to that opportunity to prepare those students to take part in that. And so we're really excited. We have a brief presentation of some highlight videos and photos from what the students have been working on or being able to experience. So if you guys will turn your attention to the screen. few of the things that our students have been working on. Last year, we were able to present to you and recognize a few of our students from our EMT program, law enforcement, and our graphic design. So tonight, we have a few other students from our other programs that they would like to kind of share their experiences. So any questions, I prepared them that you guys are going to ask them questions. So nervous or not, they're thrown into it. So after I introduce them, feel free to ask them questions about their future plans, their experience for CTE, from their CTE programs and so forth. So they're all nervous at who's going first. So first we have Raleigh Vanscoter. He's a senior CTE student in our Applied Agricultural Engineering program. Raleigh also serves as an FFA officer and one of our CTE student ambassadors. Next we have, step up, I gotta stand. We have Miss Lauren Ashley Wilson. She is also a senior student. She's in our Patient Care Tech program. She's also a student ambassador and a member of our HOSA organization. Last but not least, we have Miss Grace Rodriguez. She's a senior CTE student in our Marketing and Sales program, and she's actually one of the first students to be able to take part in our real estate course that we're offering this year to earn that certification. So feel free to ask away.
You guys are not nervous, are you? What do you like most about the program?
For me, it's really hands-on.
Hands-on.
So I'm in the shop every day welding, working towards certifications and stuff like that. And when you're in welding, there's many different types of certifications, like you weld overhead, vertical, stuff like that. And I'm on a welding project team right now. We're building an anti-gravity table. You have to search it up and look at it. They're pretty cool. And I've had lots of challenges with it, but we're coming out on top. So.
Wow. Awesome.
So do you, you're welding, you're learning how to do the arc welding, the acetylene? So you're pretty good at doing that beating on the welding?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
In our real estate class, it being the first one, it's a double block period, and so not only are we learning the basics of real estate, we're also learning time management, and it's all self-paced, and so the whole class together has a lot of time to kind of order through our priorities and what we want out of the course. And so those are also the importance of the class.
Wow.
So in Patient Care Tech program, we have 3 certifications that we're working on. So it's the CNA, so Certified Nursing Assistant. And with that, we get to go to clinicals and work with like elderlies. We've even had like young patients in their 30s. But that's like hands-on learning, and I enjoy that the best. I think that's easier to learn, is hands-on skills. We've also done phlebotomy. Right now we're doing phlebotomy, so learning how to draw blood. And soon draw our friends and maybe our teachers' blood. Some of them don't trust us, but that's okay. And then also we're doing our EKG certification. So after high school, we can have all those certifications to be able to take our Patient Care Tech.
Is it hard to find volunteers to let you?
Yes.
Lots of bribing.
Wow, awesome.
What would you tell your 8th grade self?
Go all in, don't fall back, and walk into it like you don't know anything, because that's how you learn the most.
Very good.
I would tell myself to be more open-minded. At Nacogdoches ISD, there's a lot of more opportunities that I didn't know that were available, and so I wish going in, I would have just had my options more open, and I'm really glad that I ended in the track that I am, because I love it. And so just going in with an open mind, not knowing what I can end with.
I would say believing in yourself. Since middle school, I knew like I wanted to be in a health program, but I was a little hesitant given I'm not very good at communication skills. But I think that working with those patients, working with those residents, it's definitely helped me improve on that. So.
Awesome.
Very cool.
We're so proud of you. Nacogdoches is the place to be in.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks, guys.
Well, President Irvin, continues, the celebrations continue, and I want to end on a few notes to spotlight. Today, we were very fortunate to celebrate a group of students and send them off. They are in Austin tonight, and preparing for tomorrow. 5 Dragon swimmers are at the Class 5A UIL swimming and diving meet. that starts tomorrow in Austin. Ava Whitaker enters the top of the qualifying time with the Class 5A girls, 100-yard butterfly, and a third best time in the 200 intermediate medley. Alistair Jackson enters the meet with the third best qualifying time in Class 5A in the boys' 100 freestyle. Joining Whitaker and Jackson are Clayton Coffey and Jackson Stafford and Garrett Schmidt, who are along with Jackson, make up the 200 freestyle relay team for Nacogdoches High School. The Nacogdoches High School girls team finished third overall at the regional meet held earlier this month in New Caney. The boys team finished fifth overall. The swimmers are already in Austin tonight, getting some rest, preparing for tomorrow. There was a big send-off that our very own swim team was sent off by the high school. Was exciting this morning. And so we want to wish our Dragons and say, let's go Dragons, do us proud. I know they will. The second item is, and this isn't a big deal, it's a huge deal because you're among some champions across the state and across the country. Vivian Nieberding is continuing the Nacogdoches High School run of National Merit Scholars Success. The Nacogdoches High School senior is one of 15,000. Let that sink for a little bit. One of 15,000 National Merit finalists named earlier this month. It's the second straight year that the school has seen one of its seniors advance this far. The National Merit Program begins with roughly 1.5 million entrants and was pared down to 16,000 students in September before beginning trimming it down even further to the 15,000 finalists announced earlier this month. The 7,250 merit scholarship winners will be named in May. We're proud of Vivian, and I've got my fingers crossed that she's our second straight National Merit Scholar. So we're excited to have that with regards to our high school. And the last item we have, and not least, is we have 8 Nacogdoches High School STEM students who are part of the Stephen F. Austin's University STEM Academy, advancing on to the State Science Fair in March at Texas A&M. The Regional Science Fair was held on February the 10th in Kilgore College. Mr. Z, who's not here, but he actually, there he is in the back. Mr. Z drove the bus to take our kids. We thank you, Mr. Z, for driving the bus, taking our kids there. And that's after a long day working as a principal of one of our campuses, the Littles. The Regional Science Fair was held on February 10th in Kilgore College. Nacogdoches High School students that are advancing the state include Parker Bobo, August Wright, Grayson Packard, and Murphy Jacoby, Kevin Zhu, and David Trevelia, Isaac Jones, and Ryan Larson. These are advanced projects that are moving on to the state competition, and I didn't begin to try to name the title of the project because, well, neither Les nor myself were able to figure that out. It's way above our head as far as what they were doing, but I can say this, good luck to these students as they proceed and advance this next month. With that, President and Board, that's the report.
I'd like to, if I could, make a comment. You know, being on the school board is a real commitment, and the reason that I do that commitment is because I see the results of what happens when children are given the opportunity to get educated and to get the best education possible. And the fact that we have dedicated staff in this school district, you know, trying to give the best they can to our students. That's why I'm sitting up here, and I will continue to sit up here as long as people let me do that, because that's the result of what we're doing. So thank you all for that.
Thank you, Dr. Hilliard, Mr. Montoya. We'll now come to the public comment section of this meeting, but we did not receive any requests to address the board as outlined in the meeting notice. And with that, board, we'll move right into the consent agenda. Unless removed from the consent agenda, all items listed will be acted on with one motion. And if there's a board member who wishes to discuss an item on the consent agenda separately, please indicate that agenda letter and it will be set aside for further discussion and a separate vote. If not, the chair will entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
President Irvin, I'd like to make a motion the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Apt.
I second that.
It has been moved by Ms. Apt, and second by Mr. Coach Farshid. There are no questions. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous. The motion is carried. With that, that concludes the business portion of our agenda tonight. Are there any items the board may wish to add to the next meeting's agenda?
No, sir.
If not,
President Irvin, I move that we adjourn.
I second.
so move. Thank you for coming tonight.